Imagine a room where the air is heavy, the floor tiles are rotting, and the walls are cracking. Everyone in the room sits perfectly still. No one screams and no one complains. To an outsider looking through the window, that room seems peaceful with no threats. But we know better. That isn't peace. That's pain and suffering. Honorable judges, fellow speakers, and respected viewers, my name is Yoko Gonarta, and I'm here to deliver my speech. We often mistake silence for harmony. We think that if we aren't fighting, we're at peace. But today, I stand here to argue that silence in the face of injustice is not a virtue, but a slow-acting poison. To escalate a truly peaceful world, we must first have the courage to make some noise. I have 3 reasons why we have to stand up against injustice. I entitled this speech, Raising Our Voices for What is Right. So, let me begin. First, stand up against wrongdoing. We've heard speeches before. One of them was by the great Martin Luther King Jr., who once said, "True peace is not merely the absence of tension, it is the presence of justice." When we see systematic inequality, environmental destruction around us, or the stripping of human rights, and we choose to stay out of it, we're not preserving peace. Let's say I have an example. When we see a classmate getting bullied, and we know him, but we choose to look away, we're not being peaceful, but we are being complicit. We are merely preserving a status that hurts others by not caring and calling out to them. A world that is quiet but unjust is a ticking time bomb. You cannot build a cathedral of peace over a foundation of hidden grievances. Second, common question we usually hear, how do we escalate peace? Sounds like we escalate conflict, but we must escalate peace. How do we do that? Well, the answer is not that simple. We must escalate our own accountability. Speaking against injustice is the holy friction necessary to smooth the world's rough edges. It's the whistleblower who protects the public. It's the student who stands up for a marginalized peer getting bullied. And it's the leader who admits that the old way of doing things is no longer fair for us. Every time you speak up or stand up for justice, you give the others the permission or the allowance to do the same. You know what this is called? This is called the ripple effect. One voice breaks the vacuum of silence and suddenly, bang, a movement is born. Lastly, it's important to know that speaking does not mean shouting. It's different. It does not mean we're adding to the noise of hate. Well, I have suggestions to be firm and polite at the same time. First, peace is how you speak, because you want to use the language of radical empathy rather than the noise of hatred. Second, educate the heart. Before you speak, listen. Understand the injustice from the perspective of the victim. Third, choose courage over comfort, because it's always easier to be quiet, but choose the uncomfortable truth over the comfortable lie. Lastly, you want to be a bridge, not a wall, because when you speak, you want to have a way that invites changes, not just a way to score points. This world does not need more bystanders, but it needs upstanders. Peace is not a gift that will be handed to us by history, but we must know that it is a structure that we must build with our own hands, and the mortar that holds it together is justice. If you want a world where children can breathe freely, stand up against injustice starting from today so that we may all walk in peace tomorrow. Thank you very much.